Boom. Okay. Okay. Let's see what's going on. Um, so I had this super cool intro thing planned out, but the frame rate, I don't know. I don't know much about streaming. So I had to scrap that. And I hope that the webcam frame rate is a lot better than what that was showing. But I'll find out in a second because there's a huge delay. There's a huge delay. But let's see, what's the best way to go about this? Here's the live chat. This is all I need to pay attention to. But there's a super delay, so I have to wait a second. That did not work out like I wanted it to. Can I test if I have audio? Is there audio? Yes, there's audio. Okay, cool. Sweet. The beginning of live streams are always super strange. It's always a rocky start. I don't know how to make that better. But so now we start the weird part in which I sit in a room by myself and talk to a wall of text. What's going on, everyone? How is everything going? Close all the extra windows and stuff. Yeah, my CPU is running at like 100%. I was running so many things, but I'll read up on how to better streams later. But as long as this frame rate is good, I think it's good. Let me know if the frame rate for this webcam is good enough. Because if it's not, then I don't know. I don't know what I gotta do. Something about I don't know. I don't. Someone help me. The frame rate is good with the cam. Okay, audio's good. Cool. We can ask questions here and you can answer them. Yeah, I'm here to answer any and all questions. So I had this really cool intro that I was going to do. It was going to be Forrest was going to come on screen and he was going to be like, I can answer your questions, and then obviously you can't answer them. So then he would run away and I would show up and talk about the whole bit of like um, how I don't like Forrest talking. But obviously that didn't happen. Your camera is like 3 frames per second. Yeah, my camera is actually really good as far as frame rate is concerned. It's just I don't know how to stream. It says I have a bad streaming resolution, but I don't know how to increase that. I know nothing about the technicalities of streaming. It is a completely foreign world to me. If anyone knows how I can fix this, please let me know. I'm using OBS. And I would love to fix the streaming. I don't know what to do. Okay. Yeah, this is a problem. The thing is, like, I've done streams in the past, and the frame rate encode. Okay, let's see. It says encoding overload. Consider turning down video settings or use a faster encoding preset. What the hell does that mean? Faster encoding preset. Oh God, I don't. Why do you always have to troubleshoot in the middle of like? What does this mean? Um, Low frame rate, slow income. Jesus Christ. um, yeah, I'm gonna show you what I'm looking at. Is that the right? No. Wait, yeah, there we go. So this is what I see. Um, if it's not good enough, I'll research and read how to make it better for the next one. Uh, but we're just gonna begin. What's going on, everyone? Thank you for joining the stream. You took the time to skip the Super Bowl to watch some dude talk about programming and um, all the other stuff. I don't know. I'm ignoring everything about the frame rate at the moment. I'm sorry if it's not good enough. I promise I'll research and read how to make it better for the next one. Um, but let's get into it. So yeah, I had this super cool intro that I wanted to do for this live stream. I wanted Forrest to come on screen and talk about how he wanted to answer all your questions and whatnot. And obviously there's a little bit of like, I don't like the way he talks, so he would run off screen and we'd start the live stream. But some technical difficulties kept me from doing that. Audio's gone? Are you serious? Is the audio gone? How far behind am I? This is a mess. This is a mess. Holy hell. Oh God. Oh my God. This is why I edit videos, because I don't have to put up with all this. It's very linear. Let me see, where we at? Yes, headphones, turn up the volume. Okay, so we're just really behind as far as the audio is concerned. So I'm just gonna continue talking. So yeah, so I'm here. I just want to answer any questions because when the Run Forest project was completed, I got maybe some 500 questions of people asking a bunch of different things, and I don't have the time to answer all of them individually. So if there's any questions that you have, I am really down to answer them. Where's my candy? I actually need to go for a run. Um, I just ran out of candy last night. I ate it all. But I do need to go for a run for some more candy. It's my favorite. Candy and pizza. That's what I live off of. Occasionally sandwiches. Yeah, there's a huge lag. So I'm like talking to myself until you guys catch up. So I guess while I'm waiting for you guys to catch up, I'll talk about the Run Forest project. So I'll just talk about some of the most frequently asked questions. A lot of people point out the fact that the neural network for Run Forest was too simplistic, and that was the idea. The idea was to start with a very simplistic neural network that was easy to explain, and it wasn't too complicated. Like I didn't want to like have to get into like recursion and you know, using 7 different activation functions and stuff like that. I want to keep it pretty simple, straight to the point, and yeah. But in the future, I mean, I'm glad to hear that so many people are able to identify the problems with the Run Forest neural network brain, because in the future that means that we can try some very crazy stuff with future neural networks. How old am I? I'm 26, I think. I had to cut off my arm and count the rings. Best place to start learning about neural networks. So that question, it's really hard for me to answer. Where is the best place for you to start learning neural networks? Because everyone has a different learning capability. Like me personally, a lot of people tell me that they're doing the Andrew N, I don't know how to pronounce his last name, NG's neural network or machine learning course, and I tried that course. I couldn't do it because he used a lot of big words and a lot of lingo and he didn't use a lot of pictures, and it was really hard for me to understand and keep up with the subject that the material that he was going over. So for me, I had to like kind of dial back, and I had to go to like the very basics, like just a simple like perceptron, 2 inputs, 1 output, and then understand that, and then scale it up a bit more, and then I had to take linear algebra, I had to take matrix multiplication, little derivatives. Calculus isn't too important, at least for like very basic networks. Like the most important concept that you need to understand is backpropagation, which uses the chain rule and derivatives across the entire networks, and that is probably what's going to take you the most time to get your head around if you're not really heavy with the maths. But yeah, it's really based on what you know and what you don't know, which I'd have to know you personally to be able to give you like a good route to take as far as learning neural networks. I have a Q-learning problem for navigation. I have not done any Q-learning research yet, so I'm not entirely sure what the algorithms with that involved, so I can't help you with any Q-learning stuff at the moment. So when you're not talking in videos but narrate over it separately, what do you record first, audio or video? This is a great question. So before this computer science show, I was running like it was the same channel, but it was a different show. It was like a documentary type of show, and it took forever to produce, and like every aspect of it, I made sure it was like super shiny and nice and neat. But it was really hard to grow a channel with that and compete and whatnot. So with this new show, the whole idea was like, I want like what I'm saying to be the important part, and then the visuals to be complementary but not as important as what I'm saying, right? And so I always record audio first, and then I will listen to the audio and think of what is the best way to visualize this audio piece. That's the format that I use. Oh man, so many comments. This is kind of crazy. System administration. Self-taught programmer. Where do you start with learning machine learning? Yeah, again, starting with machine learning, I honestly suggest that you just start with perceptrons, which are just simply like 2 inputs and 1 output. Once you understand that, you can scale it at a hidden layer node. I listed a lot of really good resources in part 2 for the Runs Forrest project. Check out that description. I listed, I think, like 4 or 5 channels. Go through their channels in relating to machine learning. They have a lot of really good stuff to help me learn it. Question: what are the inputs and outputs to train Forrest? Did you use a logic? Where are the inputs and outputs in the neural network used to train Forrest? Did you use? So if you're talking about the Run Forrest project specifically, I wrote a class that handles all the neural network backend stuff. I think it's called NN on the Run Forrest project. And so what happens there's an NN class, and then there's the I think it's called Forrest control script, and there's only 1 or maybe 2 calls to that NN script, which is, I think it's in the update function, and it's called calculate output or something like that. And the calculate output gives a reference back to that class, in which it will take the inputs. Yeah. I've never like tried to explain this on live stream, but I don't know if this is the best way. This is really difficult to keep up with all these people, all these questions in the chat. I'm not sure the best way to go about this. There's so much information on screen right now. What program do you use to make your educational animations? I like your neural network animations. Thank you. So I used a mix of Premiere, Adobe Premiere, After Effects, and I even used Unity to do some animations as well. Honestly, like it doesn't really matter what you use. You can use Microsoft Paint. You can use your hands. You can use paint and paper if you want to. What's important when it comes to visuals is getting your point across. There's nothing more important than getting your point across. So it doesn't really matter what software or even like, hardware or whatever you use. Just getting your point across is what your focus should always be with visuals, I believe. Uh, Daniel, Daniel. Thank you, man. Love your stuff and run Forrest, run. Thank you. I found your channel only a couple of days ago. As a filmmaker and programmer, I think your channel is very well done. Thank you, James. Thank you. They probably can. Keep explaining the code. Jesus, what internet are you on? Walmart Wi-Fi? I don't know what's going on with the whole. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I'm gonna read and learn how to fix this, but I don't really know much about streaming. I apologize for that. I really have no idea. Can you also link the source code for tutorials in the description? It would be nice to take a look at them after the tutorials. Source code for the tutorials. I'm not sure what you mean source code for the tutorials. The source code is listed in part 4 in the description if you want to check that out. Are you working as a developer right now? If yes, in what programming language? I'm not working as a developer at the moment. I do this as a hobby, which in my years of life, I've learned for me personally, the objective is to like figure out a way to live off your hobby. Because if you can successfully do that, you wake up every day just happy as hell. Like there's nothing better than making a living off your hobby. So, so long as you guys continue to support these projects, I will stay happy. Did you use any framework for the AI part in Unity, or did you code everything? Yeah, Jake Scroll, I coded everything. There obviously, for those of you guys that know machine learning with Unity, there's the, what is it, machine learning agents that you could use. But the machine learning agents, it wasn't a viable solution for me because because in order to use machine learning agents for Unity, you'd have to train it in editor. You have to train it in editor and then deploy the trained agent with the game or whatever you're shipping. And I wanted to be able to give you, the user, the ability to train your own agent. And so that wasn't an option for me. I had to do it from scratch. Not to mention, doing it from scratch, you also get to learn a lot about neural networks, and doing it from scratch really helped me. I'm able to debug my networks when something's not going on. I know exactly, like, well, not always know exactly, but I have an idea on what's going on. It's easier to debug versus if I just jump into someone else's framework. I have no idea how to debug that. I don't know, like something breaks, it's like, oh, I don't know. I'll just brute force debugging until it fixes, I guess. So that was a benefit there. So much information. Holy hell, this is crazy. Uh, can you upload the source code? Yeah, to everyone asking about the source code, it's listed in the part 4 description. I will link it right now. Let me go grab it. But the source code has been online for quite a while. Let me grab it real quick. Excuse my silence. Actually, I can just go to github.com, GitHub. And in order to use the source code, you need to download Unity 3D 2017.3, I think. And you can just open up that project. And all the code and goodies will be there for you. Here's the link. Boom. Is this hobby going to be a main thing? Okay, guys. I have an idea. Because here's the deal. There's a lot of information in this chat box, and it's really hard to like focus. So this is what I'm gonna do. If you're daring, I want you to call me on my phone. Okay, I'm gonna put my phone number on screen right now, and you call me, and let's chat that way, because I think it will be a lot easier. Wait, I didn't promote this live stream on Twitter. Should I even do that? No, that's fine. How do I get my phone number? What's it called? It's called, I don't remember what it's called. Oh, Google Voice, yes. Okay. Oh man, this is crazy. Live streams are crazy, man. What is your goal with this kind of technology? What real world applications do you hope to gain with this and other projects? Jacob, that is a great question. That is a great question. So at the moment, I'm kind of torn because my whole inspiration for learning machine learning was because of the Carl Sims demo when I was a kid. And ever since then, like my brain has gone wild with video game ideas. And so I'm kind of torn with wanting to use machine learning for video games, but at the same time, there are a lot of really cool real world applications that you can use machine learning for. Some of which like I have written down, but it's just a matter of time. Like, I don't know. I honestly don't know. I think that whatever I feel like working on is what I'm gonna do. How do I get this phone number? Where are you listed? Here you are. Okay. All right. Phone number is going up now. How do I add text? Text. Boom. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Boom. Uh-oh. Boom. Uh-oh. Call this number. Where are you? Wait, what happened? Oh, shucks. That was the wrong scene. Let's add text. The game existing. Boom. Wait, where is it? What's going on? Come on. Software, just can you please? Oh, it's so small. Got it. Make it bigger. All right, call this number. I will answer and we can chat. I think, oh, shucks. I didn't want to do that. Guys, I won't lie. Live streams are really hard because you have to like pay attention and be entertaining and answer questions and. It's not easy. All right, let's make this black. Select color. I think this will be better. All right, I think it's readable. I don't know. Let's keep it white, I guess. Can we do a shadow? All right, call me now. Call me. Discord would be better. I gotta look into that. I don't know. I'm just not good at the streaming stuff. I can help admin a Discord if you want to have a coding Discord. I'm trying to get a community in. Absolute doggy, whatever, can email me. Email me. I'm interested to know more about that. Oh, all you guys that are worrying about this number, don't worry about it. It's a Google number, so I can cancel it anytime. It just redirects the call to my phone. I don't know. Frame rate, I have no idea what's going on. I apologize again for the stream. Yeah, it is a Google Voice number, but it redirects to my phone and I can like cancel it anytime, so I'm not concerned. Oh, getting a call. Wait, I can answer from my phone. I mean, computer. Hello? 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 Oh, wait, hold on. Audio. Hello?
Hi, is this Jibro?
Yes, it is. This is Eric, right?
Yeah, this is Eric.
Eric, give me 1 second. Let me make sure that the audio. Oh, shucks. I'm getting a million calls. Oh, shucks. This was not a good idea. Shucks. Oh my goodness. Dude, I should not stream. Okay, Eric, let's just do this, man. What's going on, Eric?
Hi. Yeah, wait, can you talk now, or are you still trying to work?
Yeah, let's just do it. And then if they say there's a problem, we'll fix it when that comes up.
Okay, all right. Well, my question for you was, so I found your machine learning videos like 3 days ago, and in one of them, I remember you mentioned how you started with only knowing geometry.
Correct.
And so I wanted to know how you went about learning the math first and then going into the machine learning. Like, what sort of online resources did you use to learn math?
So,
the math necessary for machine learning.
right. So, here's the thing. I dropped out of college. And I think what that has enabled me to do is to really focus on exactly what it is that I'm trying to accomplish. So I wouldn't personally suggest that you learn, for example, linear algebra and then learn about machine learning and then learn about calculus. For example, learn about things as you need them. So I don't know how much CS knowledge are you going to school for CS or?
I actually went to, and I'm learning to code on my own.
Sweet, perfect. So yeah, man. So I would suggest that you just like, if you want to learn machine learning, just start off with whatever you want to do, and then identify what it is you don't know or what has you caught up, and then once you identify what that is that has you caught up, dig into that, right? So if you're doing a machine learning application, it's like, okay, now it's time to apply backpropagation, and you don't know how to do that, then Google search backpropagation, look at every single Stack Overflow post, look up every single YouTube video. There's gonna be a lot of people that's gonna use really big words and complicated lingo and all this other stuff, and just skip those. There will be someone that will explain it simply. For example, I think that 3 Blue 1 Brown has like the most perfect, beautiful video on backpropagation. But at the same time, at the time in which I viewed his video, I knew a lot about backpropagation, so it may not be as helpful to you as it, at where you're at. I don't know if this is all just randomly dribble, but oh man, this is so much going on. All right, Eric, he hung up. Okay. All right, so I'm accepting calls. This is really interesting. My brain is going crazy. I think I'm gonna stick to just uploading videos. Live stream is not really my forte. I'm learning. I'm learning. This is not my forte. I'm gonna write a machine learning bot to do live stream for me. You, sir, are a genius. I am not a genius. I promise you, I am not a genius. Thanks for your videos. Just wanted to keep that up. Got another call. Let's try this. Hello?
Hello?
Hey. Hey.
Hey, hi, dude, I called a second ago and I didn't get through.
Yeah, I apologize. I was on the phone with someone else.
Okay. It's just I'm watching you live right now and it's kind of like a little bit trippy because I'm seeing the echo thing and they're saying to turn down the audio. So
yeah,
I got this.
I think I'm gonna stay to just uploading videos. Live streaming is not really my forte, man.
No, I understand. And dude, I was calling because this topic is really interesting to me. I'm actually a student at a school, Full Sail University, for game development, specifically this whole area. And I have perfect notes. Like their curriculum is all laptop based, so you download the curriculum for the month on the internet and the computer, and I literally have a perfect record of what they teach the students over the course, like basically game development, what I paid a large sum of money for to become an educated game developer. I actually have a copy of what they taught me, all the math shit you want to know, all that, like month one, they taught programming. Month two, they taught more programming, like all chopped up into the finite, granular pieces that all these questions that people are asking, like I can answer this. I have the notes. You know, like I'm gonna pull it up now so I can like go through it and tell you like this is really good stuff, and I wanted to offer this to like people who are genuinely interested. Like I'm going through and like I'm just gonna read off the classes. Each one of these classes is 1 month that I focused on this class. So it was there's a course called Artificial Intelligence, COA, Digital Literature. There's Engine Development 1, 2, and 3. There's Graphics 1, Graphics 2, Historical Archetypes and Mythology.
I'm sorry to cut you off. I'm a little confused where this is going.
Okay. Well, I was a bit confused too, and like the thing is, I have there's discrete mathematics, data structures and algorithms,
right?
Calculus, programming, linear algebra, discrete mathematics, and data structures and algorithms in calculus.
Right.
I think those are the 4 math-based subjects that you really do need to have a solid grip in before trying to get into the neural network or the programming thing.
Well, I don't agree with that.
C++, not C#, though.
I don't necessarily agree with that. I don't think that you really need to go through an entire curriculum to start writing machine learning algorithms.
I kind of agree with you too, but the thing is, this is what I was put through, and it was helpful to have a good understanding of how these different things work together. But so where would they align? Because for me, it was calculus, data structures, linear, and algebra, and those are important math topics. But then which of those do you think really did help? Like linear algebra, I know you mentioned, and that one, like that's the X and Y graphing chart thing, and that, you do have to do that.
Correct.
I think.
Correct. Yes, linear algebra will for sure help you visualize a neural network, what's going on within your neural network. Beyond that, matrix multiplication is probably one of the most important things to learn when it comes to writing neural networks. And then if you're doing reinforcement learning, backpropagation is not that important because it's learning from an environment. However, if you're calculating like large data sets, backpropagation is highly important, and that's when calculus comes into play.
Okay.
As far as the curriculum is concerned, I can't really comment on that because I didn't go to school for any sort of math, so like I learned the maths when I needed it.
Hey, would you be willing to actually? I can email these to you, and the thing is, these are files set up for students. Like this is what the teachers give the students, and like this is what we're going to go over for the whole month in depth on that one topic. And it has like week 1, this is the project, and I'm thinking like maybe if I just give this to you and like you glance over it and you give me your opinion, like would I pay for in school? Like if I give this to someone else, is it still usable?
I don't know. That's kind of sketchy if you had to pay for it and then some dude on the internet's giving away for free.
No, these are my personal notes.
Oh.
Like they gave us this, and I just typed down my own notes to make sure that I'm paying for this education. I'm going to take perfect notes of so when I don't have to go back to retake courses or if I have there's books, forget books. This is my time that I'm reading and filtering through the book.
What's your name, man?
The good information and stuff. Antonio.
What's your name, man? Antonio, listen, I'm gonna tell you, I think that you have the potential to provide some great value. Instead of sending me your notes, you should make your own curriculum based on your notes, because right now people are starving to learn about machine learning. And if you can put together a good curriculum or program to teach people within your notes, you can create some real value for yourself, man. Look into it. But I'm gonna have to let you go.
Appreciative for that. And the thing is, I agree with you, and I have trouble seeing far into the future for that, because that's like a short-term idea. I feel that I'm having a hard time turning into a long-term follow through where I'm trying to get into this YouTube, and I
Yeah.
love it. I've been like YouTube. I feel like is the replacement for the cable box. Like it's obvious. Like we got this live streaming. Like I could watch cable, and I wouldn't know how many other people are watching the same channel as me. But here I'm like, oh my goodness, there is like
Antonio,
people watching right now.
Antonio,
this is something amazing.
Antonio, I love you, man. I love you. Keep that passion, keep the energy, make that curriculum, but I gotta let you go, my man. Take care. I will see you in the future. Take care, man.
All right. Thank you. Thank you.
Great passion. Guys, listen, if you have, passion, oh, another call. Antonio, thanks for the call, man. Hey.
Hey, Jabril.
Hey, how's it going?
I'll get right to it. So Intel just came out with this neuromorphic chip that is basically like the neural network on a chip. And I was wondering, do you think that's going to make machine learning work more or less abundant? Is it going to help us out, or is it going to put us out of commission?
Can you tell me more about this chip? I haven't heard about it.
Yeah, a neuromorphic chip. Intel just showed it at their latest expo. I think it was like January 2nd, so it's pretty recent.
You talking about the quantum?
It's a chip. It's a little piece of hardware that has. You can send an electrical current through every little transistor, and it goes through the same, in the same direction every single time, so you can sort of control the voltage in each little transistor. So instead of it being like this little switch is on or off, it's like a neural network with a whole bunch of activation values.
Interesting.
That can be read and written to.
Interesting.
With a very, very low power.
Interesting.
So, yeah. Instead of like being a software-based technology, it's like a hardware-based technology.
That's interesting. It sounds, correct me if I'm wrong, but it sounds like it will be a processor.
Sorry, what?
Did they develop a new processor to handle all this, or?
Yeah, kind of like a processor, like a little chip.
Yeah. So here's my thoughts.
And they use like a monocrystal silicon to make sure that it's that every time they send the current through, it's going through in the same direction.
Here's my thoughts. I need to research on this for sure, so take what I'm saying as a grain of salt. But as far as machine learning is concerned, currently there is, you will calculate either on the CPU or the GPU. It sounds like they developed some new CPU technology that I need to research. But GPUs right now are absolutely crushing it as far as machine learning calculations, just because the CUDA.
I see.
Go ahead.
I see. Yeah. That's kind of what I see. Like GPU is used for most machine learning work, and I think this is sort of supposed to fulfill the same role.
Right.
This neuromorphic chip.
Right. I actually have a friend who he's researching quantum processors, and he's saying that their research is yielding incredible speed ups. So there's a possibility that machine learning could be sped up exponentially using quantum processors whenever they hit the market and all that stuff. But it's still too early to find out. But at the moment, GPUs is like the way to go. I just ordered my GPU computer, and I'm super excited to get it, to be honest with you.
Cool. Interesting. Well, I'm excited to see where it goes. Thanks.
What was your name one more time?
My name's Isaac.
Isaac, thank you for the call, man.
Yeah, thank you.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Fascinating. I need to look up into that. Isaac. Damn, I should have said Isaac. Isaac, if you're watching, can you please send me a link or something? That'd be super cool. I don't remember the name. Yeah, I'm really excited about quantum processors. I want to see, what type of speedups we'll get. But I know a PhD friend on Twitter who told me they're having like incredible speedups using quantum processors. So we'll see what that yields. It's exciting times. Super exciting times. It's super exciting time. But while there's no calls or anything, I want to go on a quick rant. So cryptocurrency, much loved cryptocurrency. I think that the idea, the foundation is a very good idea. However, I'm very upset at cryptocurrency because they have raised the prices of GPUs to crazy prices. NVIDIA retails the 1080 Ti GTX GPU at like $600, but currently they're going for like $1,500, which is insane. But I did just order my first machine with a 1080 Ti, and I hopefully want to get my hands on another 1080 Ti because I want to calculate super duper data sets for machine learning applications. Would you consider doing any CUDA for GPU optimization videos? I mean, would you consider doing any CUDA for GPU optimization? I'm not entirely sure what you mean by that. Consider doing any CUDA for GPU optimization. Oh, yeah, for sure. For sure. I just ordered a computer that comes with the 1080 Ti. It's the i7-8700 processor. 32 gigs of RAM. And then the 1080 Ti has 11 gigs of video RAM. So I'm about to do some damage. And I want to get my hands on another 1080 Ti as well and plug that into that computer. And then eventually get, oh, someone canceled their call. Yeah, that was CES. Was that the same processor you was talking about? That quantum, the qubit, right? Let's see here. Hello?
Hi. Okay,
Hey.
this topic is important because you just pinched a nerve for me where you're talking about quantum computers
Okay.
and now cryptocurrency. Now,
Okay.
there is a synergy between quantum computers and cryptocurrency.
Okay.
The computer that was just described in the previous phone call, if that computer is as real and does use quantum computing, the reality of that is that you're able to ask the computer now not just a linear question, but now you can throw infinite questions at the computer lined up. It's like having starting, like the beginning of a race where all the racers are at the beginning and you shoot the gun and they all start running. Before it was, well, each person is one thread and has to be processed one at a time. Now, if all of them are processed simultaneously, and that leads to being able to basically turn cryptocurrency into a useless currency, because then you can crack those currency things instantly rather than having to take those long, like you would need a warehouse of miners to mine, but now it would be your cell phone can basically decrypt the whole cryptocurrency because it has that quantum processor in it.
That's interesting. Obviously, I'm very ignorant when it comes to quantum computing, but I'm having a hard time wrapping my head around how can you send a query of an infinite.
Okay, that's the part that this blows my mind, and this is why I'm lost, because if this is real, this is some alien type technology that I can't believe and I can't wait for, because it would mean that we can have video games. Basically, our video games would look like the Transformer movie, and we'd be able to play that real time if we have those quantum computers. But it's a sphere, and the sphere has a North Pole and a South Pole. And basically, you can send it a question, and a question would mean that you're going to send it a little manipulation that now the sphere has an infinite number of directions that the poles can align into. But the question offsets the sphere a little bit. So now the pole was sticking up and down, but then you offset the north and south pole just a little bit. But that's like a custom thing that's reproducible. And when you look at it, then what happens if you ask two questions, the two angles add together? It's kind of like matrix multiplication.
I think we're getting a little too into the details because I have no idea what you're talking about. But at the same time, I think that when this technology hits, which I'm very confident that it will, because I have some friends that are currently researching quantum processors, and they're talking about how things are going extremely well. As far as cryptocurrency is concerned, I've heard that fear, and I think that there's enough people that cares about it that will eventually develop some technology, probably harnessing quantum computing to compete. But I don't know.
I would think that the cryptocurrency would evolve onto a quantum platform, and if that would be the only solution. It really would be.
It has to be. Yeah, you got to fight fire with fire. But what was your name, man?
Antonio, I called you earlier,
Oh.
and I just, like, when you brought that up, I just had to let you know what's going on.
Antonio, welcome back. Well, thank you for the call, man. Thank you for letting us know.
All right, thank you.
Take care, Antonio.
You're welcome. You too. Bye.
Sweet. All right, guys. I think I'm going to take 1 or 2 more calls, and then I'm going to end this stream. I need to really reflect on how I can make this better, because this is an absolute mess at the moment. Oh man, I might just stick to just uploading videos, because, or I might get a friend to help me out, or I might get Absolute Doggy to help me with setting up a Discord, because you got to cut this guy off, kind of distracted the stream. Yeah, Absolute Doggy, you talking about the Discord. I don't know anything about streaming and all that stuff, so here's my email. Please shoot me an email and let's chat about this, because I would love to optimize the stream and make it super fun for everyone and get an actual nice frame rate going. Sweet. I'm gonna take 1 more call, and then we're gonna put it into the stream. Whoever's daring, let's end this with a good call. Here we go. Eric, I think I talked to you already. Eric.
Hi.
Hey, is this your second call?
Yes, this is.
Nice. What's going on?
Yeah, I don't know how the call ended earlier. I just looked at my phone and it ended randomly.
Oh. Right.
Wow, I'm surprised I was able to get a second call. So the other question I wanted to ask you earlier was, you obviously have a lot of skills with machine learning and math. And
I don't.
That would make you very desirable.
I don't.
Well, I mean, even at your current stage, I think that there'd be many companies who would be willing to hire you. But what I really wanted to know was what your thoughts were on pursuing a startup. I heard you mention it briefly in your interview with Physics Girl, but I think you said there was some reason why you wouldn't take that on full time or something. So I just want to hear your ideas on pursuing neural that utilized machine learning.
Yeah. So eventually I want to get to that point, but at the moment I feel like I still have a lot to learn. And obviously there's the argument of you can learn while developing your startup, but
right.
I don't at the moment. I'm having a lot of fun doing what I'm doing. I'm able to pay my bills doing what I'm doing. And so right now it's fun. And I believe, this is my belief, that while doing all this, it will enable me to get a better scope of the spectrum of what's possible with machine learning, what I'm more passionate in the spectrum of machine learning, and then I'll be able to converge on what it is that I really like to do and turn that into a startup.
Okay, so a startup is your end goal, though. That is something you do plan to pursue in the future.
Possibly. I have really been in a Buddha state of mind where it's the only thing that really exists is the moment that you're in right now. So if I spend time right now to think about tomorrow or next week or next year, then I'm not really living. I'm not being the best I can be at this moment. All right, keep calling. I promise I'm gonna answer your call, 616. Just give me a second with Eric. But yeah, so that's currently where I'm at. It's just right now, I just want to make sure that I'm the best version of myself right now, because that will enable me to take on all opportunities that make sense for me. It will put me exactly where I need to be in 5 years, in 10 years, in 20 years, whatever the case may be. You know what I mean?
Wow. Yeah, I understand completely.
And that honestly speaks volumes to my YouTube journey as well. This isn't my first YouTube channel. This isn't my first YouTube show. And many of the previous shows, I was always trying to focus on next year, where I want to be the next year, where I want to be the year after, X, Y, and Z. But that always resulted in me making moves that ultimately didn't make sense, right? But now with this show, it's just like I'm just focusing on right now. Right now, it makes sense for me to do this machine learning project. It makes sense to research this. It makes sense to buy an AI machine, and I will eventually fall into where I need to be, you know?
Interesting. All right, well, I won't stay on too much longer, but my last question for you is, what project are you currently working on right now?
So right now, I am working on several projects, but I think the top two, I'm working on a machine learning boxing game that I think it's gonna be really fun. I want to try and get a sponsor behind it and do like a tournament so that like whoever trains the best boxer can get like sponsor prizes and whatnot. And then I'm also stepping into the huge data set realm with TensorFlow. So hopefully those projects should be out soon.
Oh wow! Have you heard of the guy Sendesk?
Oh, Syndex is awesome. I love Syndex.
Yeah, that what you said you on reminds me of Forrest.
I'm sorry, what was that last thing you said? Reminds you of what?
His last video series where he was building a machine learning bot
Yes.
that would play against other bots. Did you see that?
Yeah, that was actually a tournament set up by a company in which they challenged a bunch of developers to write AI within their own like software. It was interesting, but yeah, I seen that, and he used machine learning, and he had like first place for a while, and it's really cool, man. Syndex is a hero of mine. I definitely want to work with him at some point, hopefully.
Yeah. Well, hey, thank you so much, man, for taking my call.
No, Eric, thank you, man. Thank you.
All right, I'll give it.
All right, take care now. Okay, if you're calling from that 616 number, you can call now. I promise I'll answer. Other than that, let's see. Where was a question that someone asked? It was Doran. He said, legit question, what's the next project idea you have in mind to keep experimenting with that? Yeah, so Doran B, Eric kind of asked that question for you. I'm currently working on a machine learning boxing game in which you train a agent to learn how to box, and then I want to hopefully get some sponsors and then deploy the software, and then everyone can train their own